Hi guys, Archie Luxury channel, and today we're looking at Sid's amazing collection. And I gotta tell you a story about Sid. And this story here is a bit about watch etiquette. And see this Panerai here, left hand Panerai. This Panerai here was lent to Sid by a watch dealer. And basically, the watch dealer took Sid's Explorer 2, well, this is the story Sid told me, and said, hey, try it on for a couple of days to see if you like it, and see if the watch, you know, it works out with you. So it's a this is a story about a bit of etiquette, because it had a rather tricky end to it. And I'd actually met Sid. I was supposed to be trading my PAM 24 for Sid's Explorer 2 plus a big bundle of cash. I was giving Sid some cash, but the dealer he was a bit angry at Sid, and I want to sort of explain why. And before I get into the story, let's just have a bit of a look at Sid's collection here. Beautiful assortment of sports watches. Nice Rolexes, APs. Yes, the Pateks are girl size, but nice sprinkling of collectible pieces. And anyhow, this story here just goes to show you that money can't buy manners. That's correct. Money can't buy manners. So, what did Sid do? Well, Sid went to Russia to see the World Cup, the soccer, and Sid decided to wear this PAM every day he was over there. And I kind of think this is an off thing to do. I mean, if a dealer lends you a PAM to try, he doesn't want you to wear it every fucking day. You gotta be fair and respectful of other people's goods. You can't just wear the shit out of them because you're overseas. That's not really the dealer's problem. And this is where my friend Sydney got into a bit of trouble, because the dealer really got shitted off with Sid when Sid wanted to return it after wearing it for 6 weeks in Russia. And the dealer kind of hit the roof and said, what the fuck are you doing to me? And I think this is where a lot of communication problems happen with Sydney. He gets himself into deals, then decides to back out. And he kind of lies and manipulates things to suit himself. And this is the narcissistic nature of a lot of watch owners. They are narcissistic fuckers. And I think the moral of the story is you never give a watch to somebody to try for a few days. They're just amateurs. If someone's going to try it, that's just fraught with danger. Because what are they going to do? They're going to wear it, put marks on it, then they'll return the fucking thing. If someone isn't able to make a decision, they're wishy-washy fuckers. And I must confess, Sid is an extremely wishy-washy fucker. And I can rightly see why the dealer was really fucked off with Sydney. He was really fucked off because the guy's worn his watch for a number of weeks overseas, and then he says, oh, I don't like it now. Well, sunshine, it doesn't work like that. You've got to have some manners. The problem is, Sid is so narcissistic. He doesn't really care what anyone else thinks or feels. He just, whatever feels good to Sid is good for Sid. And I gotta be completely honest with you. This guy here, he may have some amazing pieces, but his manners and etiquette just fucking infuriate you. Just because someone's wearing a Audemars Piguet Royal Oak doesn't mean they're an ethical business person. No, they can be real slimy fuckers. And our Sid is really not the sort of person I would want to be doing deals with. That's correct. Sydney is a real slimy fucker. And I got to be completely frank and honest with you. He's got some beautiful pieces, but what he did to the dealer on the Pam is pretty downright fucking rude. And it's just not a classy way to behave. It's not a classy way. And that leads me, how did I meet Sydney? Well, I had actually advertised my World Time for sale, just to kick the bone around the yard. And Sydney, we agreed on a price. We met to make sure that my description of the piece was the same as what Sydney wanted. We met, I showed him the watch, and I thought the next step is, if you like the watch, it was be to turn up with the cash in a few days' time and exchange watch for cash. But not with our Sydney. Our Mr. Sydney said he's 80% sure. And I said, what the fuck? How do you mean 80%? And it really angered me that I wasted my time to see this fucking tire kicker who was now telling me he's 80% sure of doing the deal. What the fuck are you talking about? We were merely checking out the piece to make sure it's genuine and that you're a genuine buyer, and you're going to turn up with a brick of cash to exchange money for peace. But that was my running with Sid, and Sydney turned out to be a real fucking nasty fucker to do business with. Lying, changing the terms of the transaction after we had agreed on a deal. And I've completely written the fucker off. I just think the nasty fucker can go to hell as far as I'm concerned. I can't do deals with somebody who doesn't have decency and ethics. And that is basically it. And I then started doing a bit of consultancy work for Sydney on designing his collection. And I got to be honest with you, Sydney's a very, very frustrating fucker to deal with. He changes the goalpost after you've agreed on a deal. And the best decision I made was to never sell or trade a watch with Sydney again. And in hindsight, I'm actually lucky to have my World Time. I do love my yellow gold World Time, so it's all not lost there. But Sydney is the eternal prick teaser. He told me he wanted to sell his AP. I said, why do you want to sell your AP? That's just crazy. And Sydney drives a hard bargain, but at the end of the day, there are just some people, don't do business with them. They're just nasty fuckers, best avoided in the business arena. And our Sydney is one of these people who you really shouldn't be doing business with. I mean, somebody burns you, that's it. Write them off. That's it. Just fucking tell them to go away and just to fuck off. But Sydney hasn't been a bad guy. I've done a bit of consultancy work. I've actually had a few meals with our Sydney, and you know, he's a nice enough sort of guy. He's a nice enough sort of guy. He's got a bit of a charm to him, but I think you've got to go into that relationship understanding that you will never do a business deal with him, and that's just how it is. So tell me, have you had business dealings with people who really give you the fucking shits? Have you walked out on deals because they continually change the goalposts? Put a few comments below and tell Sydney what you think of that.
I'm only signing it because it costs nothing. So this is the congratulations to everybody.
Guys, it's really dishonest to jump into bed with garbage. It's really dishonest. It's really dishonest. I mean, I've been approached hundreds of times by shitter brands. I said no. I said no. No shitters. No shitters. So just remember that when you're picking your YouTube gurus, don't always go for the one who everything's wonderful, everything's great, because it ain't the case. It ain't all fucking wonderful. Oh, and don't forget, fuckaroonies, like, subscribe, and tell your fuckhead friends. And don't forget to mention the Archie Luxury Travel channel. That's where I'm doing live shows, fuckers.